it up for my homie, Mr. Jim Jefferies!
Hey. Hello. Okay. Sit down. That was very nice. All right, let's start with a joke. Every time I sneeze, some arsehole in the room goes, "Do you know the sensation of a sneeze is 1/8 of an orgasm?" I don't know if you've heard this myth, but that's what people say. That's why when I'm fucking a chick, I keep a bit of pepper on the bedside table. And as I'm coming, I chuck it in her face. Because she deserves something. Now, I used to, for a while, date Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend. And that sounds like a joke, but it's true. I dated Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend. And I'll tell you something about fucking Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend. You put no effort in, because no matter how good you think you're fucking her, you're not fucking her as good as the greatest Olympian that's ever lived. This guy's 6'8", has size 20 feet, and holds his breath for a living, right? He burns 10,000 calories a day. You know he's just fucking her and drinking Red Bull and eating chocolate bars. And I'm there coughing cigarette phlegm up on her back. And she always used Mike against me. I call him Mike now. She'd go, "Mike bought me this handbag. Mike bought me these shoes." And I'd be like, "Mike looks like he has Down syndrome. Why don't you ever mention that?" And we don't know for sure that I'm not a better swimmer. I've never timed myself. When I get in the pool, it's for pleasure, not to show off in competition. Right? I can tell you, if I ever finish a lap of an Olympic-sized pool, I'll be really, really tired. And you can only assume from that that I've been going extraordinarily fast. Mike took me here, Mike took me there. Mike cheated on you with Miss California. And I could never do that to you. It's not that I wouldn't. I just couldn't. It's Miss California. That bitch has got to be fucking tasty, eh? Like, I'm on the TV a bit. I'm a minor celebrity. I could fuck, like, Miss Delaware is coming to mind. I don't even know where Delaware is, but she sounds fucking ugly, Miss Delaware, doesn't she? But I've got a girlfriend now. She's in the room. I got a girlfriend. She's moved into the house. A serious relationship. I'll tell you what I've been doing with the last 12 years of my life. For the last 12 years of my life, I've been traveling around the world having sex with random women. And my girlfriend has told me that that's a really sad way to live your life and kind of depressing. And it's weird, you know, because it felt like fun. I remember a lot of smiling back in the day. I have vivid memories of high-fiving a lot. But thank God she's come along to tell me that I was mistaken. Mate, you might be asking why would I want to settle down. Then I'm at the age now, 35, where I'm thinking of the future. I would like to be a father one day. I think I would be a great dad, I really do. I just don't think I'd be a good husband, and there's a problem. Because you can't just like meet a woman, marry her, get her pregnant, she has the child, and then you divorce her in the first year. That's automatic bad dad territory. It doesn't matter how many ball games you take, little cunt, to, you're a bad fucking dad. So I think the only way out for me is to like meet a woman, marry her, get her pregnant, she has the child, and then if she could die, that would really help me out, because your kid couldn't hate you then, because I'm doing my best, your mum's dead, you know. But I've looked into it, And not as easy as you might think. It turns out that terminally ill women don't want to get pregnant. They're all about them and what they're up to and their issues. The terminally ill are very fucking high maintenance, if you ask me, so I need to find a woman who doesn't know she's dying, and that's a whole new set of complications. So I need to befriend a doctor. That doctor will have like a cancerous woman come into his office and he'll be like, "Oh, you're fine, get out of here, you're wasting my time. Congratulations on the weight loss." Then he'll ring me up and go, "I've got one." And I'll be like, "Yay!" And then I'd give him a couple of free tickets to a show, we'd call it even. Then I'd meet the girl, I'd be really charming, I'd get her married, I'd get her pregnant, she'd have the child, and then if she could die, that would get me out of a bind. Like, I don't want her to die during childbirth. I'm not a fucking animal, you know, like a few years later after the kid could walk and talk and wipe its own ass and open the fridge and take care of itself to a certain extent. And I'm thinking I want a daughter. I think that would suit me, to have a little 3-year-old daughter, Eliza. I've already named her. So picture me, Jim Jefferies, with little Eliza, struggling through life. Hey, just the two of us. The mum's fucking dead. She's long gone. It's just the two of us. I do what I can. I take her on the road with me because I can't leave her with anyone. She's all I've got left. I'm fucking adorable. There isn't a woman in this room that doesn't want to suck that guy's cock. That's about as sexy as I get, with the dead fucking wife raising a little girl. And I would play that card every single day as well. Like, I'd be like in a diner with little Eliza, and as the hot waitress walked by, I'd go, "No, Mummy's never coming back." Then when the waitress came up, I go, "No, nothing for me, thank you so much. But I think someone might like an ice cream sundae." It's her first birthday without her mother. No, it's okay, we're okay. Sometimes I think she takes care of me. You know what'd be happening later on that evening? I'd be getting my dick sucked and a free sundae. And I'd raise that kid good too. No fucking around. Raise that kid the same way that I was raised. I'd beat the fuck out of it. My mother broke both my brother's legs. Not both my brothers. One brother. Both his fucking legs. Scotty was under the bed going, "I don't want to go to school." And Mum's going, "Get out right now, you're going to school." And he was like, "No, I'm not, you can't make me." And she went, "You don't think I can make you?" And then Scott went, "Fuck off!" Now, Gunter wasn't taking that. She reached under, grabbed him by the shirt, pulled him backwards, yanked him upwards so his shins shattered against the bed frame and the floor. Now, on the upside, didn't go to school that day. Got a couple of extra days off to relax. Fucking soft. You're soft people, I'm telling you. You just keep this self-esteem and giving every child a fucking medal if it runs a race. And there are two fucking lots of people in this world, winners and fucking losers, right? You might not be a winner at everything, you might not be a loser at everything, but you won't find out what the fuck you're good at if they tell you you're fucking good at everything. Right? See, you here in America are the most powerful country that's ever been. You're coming number 27 in education, and that's disgusting, right? But you're coming number 1 in confidence. So you're breeding stupid, confident people. They're the worst employees in the fucking world. All right? So this whole, we're number one shit, call it a fucking day, America. China's coming to get ya. And you can't stop China, mate, because they're number one in education and they're the bottom of the list in confidence. Their entire society rotates around honor, respect, dignity. Do your homework, learn your fucking violin. So who do you want putting your car together? A little nervous Asian fella with a drill going zzz? Or this guy? Zzz. Perfect. Because you can't compete with the Asians. It's not that they're smarter. They're not smarter. Their infrastructure is infinitely better. The Asians do something that we don't do. They acknowledge stupidity. If you have a classroom of American children, little Johnny isn't keeping up with the other kids, what do? Come on, Johnny, you can catch up. We believe in you. What do you think they do in China when fucking Mei Pang isn't towing the line, eh? Get out of the way, you dumb cunt. Don't talk to the smart kids, you're weighing them down. Go over there and make some shoes and help our economy, but leave them alone. You don't acknowledge stupidity and I can fucking prove it. We have 1,000 people in the room. By a show of hands, don't do it ironically. Don't do this sarcastically. Only do this if you truly believe it. Put up your hand if you truly believe you have a stupid child at home. None of you. Well, guess what? It's statistically higher than that. But your child isn't stupid, not your child. Your child has a learning difficulty. That's the definition of stupid. If you have difficulty learning, that's what stupid is. If you find it hard to put information in your head and recall it when you need it, that's textbook stupid. And there's nothing wrong with being stupid. I will take a nice idiot over a smart arsehole any fucking day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. But let's just acknowledge these people. You know, now I've given you a good point. Many of you are thinking, maybe our kid is a dumb cunt. You're picturing him in his Little League game, he's in the outfield digging a hole with a stick. I've told you before in one of my other DVDs, but this is how you find out if your kid's a dumb cunt, right? Are you a dumb cunt? Is your wife or your husband a dumb cunt? Guess what your kids are? Your kids are dumb cunts just like you, except they'll achieve even less. Now, don't be upset by this information if you're indeed a dumb cunt with your dumb cunt spouse, your dumb cunt kids, and your dumb cunt family, with your dumb cunt friends. Because society's very accommodating to dumb cunts. In fact, there are places where you and your dumb cunt family can go once a week and meet other dumb cunt families, and you can sing songs. And it's called the church. And they've never turned away a group of dumb cunts. The church loves dumb cunts. Doesn't like the smart, what with their constant questions. Smart are always asking questions, and that's like fucking cancer to religion. See, I became an atheist when I was 15 years old. I remember there was an exact moment. I was digging a hole with a stick, and Now, if you've just recently become an atheist, try to be cool about it, right? Because, especially in this country, people use atheism almost like its own religion, right? Because when you become an atheist, you're very angry because you've been fed so many lies that you become angry, right? So try to be what I call a good atheist. I used to be a bad atheist, right? Like, for example, I didn't go to a friend's wedding once because it was in a church, because I wouldn't set foot in a church, right? And then, like, I couldn't go to parties because I always end up in a corner with a Christian going, "You're a fucking idiot," right? And that's no way to live your life, you know? So you know what? You got to live and let live in this world. Have the magic man, don't have the magic man. I don't give a fuck. And since I have this new sunny disposition, my life's really turned around. I've got more friends, I tolerate others. I'm now godfather to 3 children, and that's retarded. Because these people know me, and they still fucking ask. They still come up and go, "Jim, will you be the child's godfather?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I stand there in church with the priest and the parents, and the priest is holding the baby, and the priest turns to me and goes, "Jim, will you spiritually guide this child throughout its life?" Sure. Because I have no problems lying in church. What difference does it make? Now, there are 2 reasons why babies are christened, right? There's the real reason, which is the church are trying to recruit people who can't talk. Then there's the second reason, the Bible's reasons, God's reason. This is why God wants you to christen your child. Because if you don't christen your child and it dies in infancy, it doesn't get into heaven. Aww. So if you are religious, your God sounds like a super guy. But if he lets one dead baby into heaven, then he has to let all the dead babies into heaven. And before you know it, heaven's just filled with fucking dead babies. Won't be able to move for dead babies. And let's not act like these babies didn't know what they did. Now, it's not lost on me that when I tell a joke like that in front of this many people, then in this room, there's a good chance that there's a couple who lost their child in infancy. And I'm a comedian, I'm meant to make you laugh. And I've just reminded you of the most horrible thing that ever happened to you. And for that, I am sorry. But if you weren't smart enough to get a pedophile in a dress to put a small amount of water on the child's forehead, what the fuck did you think was going to happen, right? As far as I'm concerned, you're bad parents. And that's why God took your child away from you. Because I think we all know that God makes no mistakes. So. Maybe you did. It's weird, you know, I feel that tension in the room now. People are still... I like it. I prefer it to laughter. I'm used to laugh. I like this weird feeling. Because you all know what I do. You've seen my specials. You bought a ticket. People still get shocked. Right? But the thing is, it's not my fans that get shocked or upset. They know what's fucking happening. The problem with these shows is that people come in groups. And there's some guy here who's a big fan of mine, and he said to 6 of his friends, "You gotta see this guy. We're gonna have a great fucking night." And at this stage of the show, he's going, "Oh no. Oh, Karen's here. Karen fucking loves God. I'm never gonna fuck Karen." Then afterwards, I'll be outside having a drink in one of the bars around the place, and afterwards, Karen will see me and she'll walk up to me with a smile like this. She'll come up and go. And then when she gets really close, she'll go, "You're a fucking asshole!" And I'll be like, "Oh no, you don't want a photo," right? And then her friends will sort of drag her away, and as she's being dragged away, she'll yell something out like, God loves you, Jesus loves you, some bullshit like that. Because Christians have this belief that there's a man on a cloud that loves them. Let's say he exists. He doesn't fucking love you. I've heard Christians say that my God loves me unconditionally. No such thing as unconditional love. That's a load of fucking bullshit. My mum always throws that one out there. My mum always goes, Jim, I love you no matter what. I love you unconditionally. And I always think to myself, what if I cut one of her tits off? What if I just got a rusty blade and started hacking into that obese woman's breast? And, like, would she still love me? She might. I'm not willing to test it, but I can tell you for sure. I can tell you for sure that God does not love you unconditionally. I have already given you a condition. If you don't put a small amount of water on a baby's forehead, it burns for eternity. That's the condition of a fucking psychopath. Like, if God showed up at a party, he'd be the least welcome person in party history. Like, everyone would be having a good time, then someone would go, don't look up. Oh no. God's here. Hey God, how are you going? We didn't know you were going to be here. Yeah, well, I'm fucking everywhere, aren't I? So why the fuck wouldn't I be here? Well, God, it's really great to have you here. We're really happy you're here. And then God's like, everyone, can everyone please be quiet and look at me right now? I've come down to tell all of you, I want you all to know that I love all of you unconditionally. And they're like, thanks for that, God. We really appreciate that. Then they go back to their party. And then God goes, is that all you have to say? Sorry, God? I just said I love you. Oh, fucking shit, yeah. We love you too. Good. Because you know if you don't, you'll fucking burn, right? Yes, God, we really love you. We really love you. Do you love any other gods? No, we don't. We really don't. Okay, cool. Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I've had too much to drink. I'm sorry. And then they go back to their party, and obviously God's not getting enough attention. He pipes up again. Everybody, one last thing. I know you all said you love me, and that's really cool of you. I want you to do one more thing for me. Now, I want to point out that you won't burn if you don't do this, but it would go a long way not to burning if you get my fucking drift. All right? It would be really great if you could all sing songs about me. And they're like, sorry, God? I made the fucking world. Just sing a fucking song. What's the problem? And they're like, yeah, we can do this, can't we, gang? Let's sing some songs for God. And they start singing some gospel music. To begin with, God's fucking digging it. He's just... Because let's not forget that God's a white guy. Then halfway through this song, God starts to turn. Everyone stops singing. Who's the guy in the pink shirt who's enjoying singing? Oh, that's Brian and his boyfriend. You know I hate faggots. But God, calm down. You just said you love everyone, not faggots, I didn't. And then people are trying to calm him down. He's like, don't you fucking touch me! Don't touch me, you faggot lover! They're like, God, it's probably best you just leave this party. You're all gonna fucking burn, all you fucking cunts. And he goes outside and he's trying to calm himself down. I fucking hate faggots. I couldn't be clearer about this. It's in my book, for fuck's sake. Everyone's got the book. No one's fucking read the book. Everyone's got the book. Then he passes like a young couple holding hands. He's like, hey, how you doing? You see that tree? I fucking made that shit. Hey, wait. Wait. Are you two married? No. Well, don't fuck each other. I hate young people fucking, and I hate faggots. I also hate people eating shrimp. I mentioned that 8 times in my book, where I only mentioned twice that I hate homosexuals. But people seem to really enjoy eating shrimp, so I've forgotten about that rule. But I'm still very certain I hate faggots. And then everyone's like, I'm so happy to have him in my life. This constant glow I have in my heart. My pet hate when I'm on stage, it doesn't really matter too much in this show because it's being filmed, but I hate it when people have their camera phone up and they're videotaping my show when I'm doing a gig. For 2 reasons, and it sounds silly, but first reason is simple. They're my jokes, and I don't want you putting them on the internet before I get to record them on a special. Second reason is I'm not in charge of the editing. You know how easy it would be to edit that last routine down to, I hate faggots! and I'd be getting interviewed and someone would go, Jim, why do you hate homosexuals so much? And I'd be like, I don't hate homosexuals. And then they'd show me the clip and I'd be like, oh no. Ah. What you don't understand is I was God at the time. God doesn't like homosexuals. And I don't hate gay people, I'm pro-gay people, man. I protested for gay marriage. I believe very strongly in gay marriage. I believe if you're a person who's watching this special right now and you don't believe in gay marriage, turn it off, you're a fucking dickhead, I don't want anything to do with you. Now, and my reasoning is so simple, right? If you don't believe in gay marriage, you're a dickhead because it's got nothing to fucking do with you, right? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who loves who or who wants to be with who. It's none of your fucking business. None of your fucking business. If you hate gay marriage, you know what you should do? Don't marry a gay person. That'll be your little way of getting around it. That'll fucking show the gays, eh? I like to be gay. It'll fucking suit me. I studied musical theatre at university. I'm wearing leather without a shirt underneath. I would love to be gay. I'll tell you why, because I'm a man's man. I like men. Men like me. We like each other. I hate women. Women hate me. We hate each other. The only reason I couldn't be gay is because I could never fuck a man. Because I could never fuck something that I respect. That's a good fucking joke, eh? That's a good joke. You know what, that joke's what I call an awkward car ride home. You know how many men are going to be driving home with their girlfriends or wives this evening and they have to do this one? They got to go, what joke? Oh, I don't remember that joke. I laughed at it. Me. That doesn't sound like me. You're saying I stood up and clapped. I was probably laughing about the joke before it, where God hated homosexuals. How did I know that that joke was before it if I didn't know that this joke even existed? Your mother's a cunt. Let's tell some stories. Now, this first story, the first bit of this story you should already know. In the same way that you know things like, don't kill people, try not to rape. When you're on an airplane, there's a thing called plane etiquette, and it goes like this. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets 2 armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fucking animals, we live in a society. So I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Houston, and I had the middle seat, and that sucks balls. So I'm sitting there with 2 armrests. Next to me is a petite young lady. She's doing her job, armrest wall. I'm in the middle, 2 armrests. Sitting next to me here is a great big black man who's as gay as the day is long. He sits down next to me, and we do the niceties. Hello, hello. And then with no issue whatsoever, he sees my elbow there, and he just went, chock. And I went... No, I'm pretty upset, but he's a big fucking guy, and it's a long flight. So there's no need to get into an argument. So I have that argument that you have in your head where the other person doesn't know you're having an argument. Where you're like, you're a fucking asshole. And if you said this, then I would say, well, good sir, I think you're mistaken, right? So I sit there festering for like 45 minutes, and eventually the air stewardess comes with a drink cart. Now, why I'm on air stewardesses, right? Whenever you watch a movie set in the 60s and they show air stewardesses, or an old TV show, they'd show like Pam Am or something, they always depict air stewardesses as these hot young things with a pillbox hat and a little bun and big tits and a small waist and holding a bag going, no, that. I don't think any of those women have retired. This thing was just being propped up by the drink cart. 50 years of recycled air had made her skin drip off her skull like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. She comes up, the guy reaches over for his drink and his pretzels, armrest open, bang, I'm back in. And I'm not fucking going anywhere either. He puts all of his things down in his tray and he goes to put his elbow back, but he fucking can't, can he? He can't, because there's a wall there called Jefferies and he can't fucking move it, right? And he's pushing, and I'm acting like I can't feel it, like this, but casual like. Then he gets his fist like this and his hand like that, and he's pushing really hard back, and I'm trying to do that casual. But he's much bigger than me, and eventually I have to give in. I just went, chock. So I turned to him and said what needed to be said. Why are you such a cunt? Now, I understand that that word in this country isn't as popular as maybe it should be. People were freaking the fuck out. They were going, he just said it, I heard him say it. Called that man a C-bomb, I heard him say it, Bob. Called the man a C-bomb, Bob. And he was shocked as well. He turned to me and went, excuse me, what did you just call me? But in for a penny, in for a pound, right? And I was there going, a cunt, sir. I called you a cunt. And he said, are you upset because you're trying to take my armrest? And I went, you don't know plane etiquette. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets 2 armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fucking animals. We live in a society. And the people that initially hated me agreed with me like, he is right about that. That is true. That is true. We do live in a society. And he went, oh, I'm only taking the back of the armrest. You can have the rest of the armrest. And I went, you take the back, you take the whole fucking thing. No one gives a fuck about the front of the armrest. No one's ever gone, thanks for the front of the armrest. I said, it's not just that you're taking my armrest. Your elbow has come over the armrest and it's digging into my rib cage. And he said, well, maybe if you lost some weight. I know. I was gobsmacked. I didn't know what to fucking say. I just turned to him and went, you bitchy queen. Now everyone on the plane has lost their fucking shit. The movie can fuck off, mate. No one's watching the fucking movie. I'm the entertainment now. The air stewardess comes running back on her walker. She comes up to us and she goes, what's going on here? And I said, I want this fucking asshole away from me. And she said, sir, this is not the situation to be swearing in. And I went, yes, it is. We're having a fight. And she went, well, there's no need for name calling. I called the guy bitchy queen, so I sort of get what she's saying. And I turned to her and said, you know what? You're right. There is never a need for name calling. But as a proud gay man myself, I feel like I've earned the right to say such words, so. She apologized. The gay guy knows I'm fucking lying. He's fagging the fuck out, just. And the air stewardess went, can everyone calm down? What's the problem here? And he went, he's trying to take my armrest. And the air stewardess went, everyone knows the middle gets 2 armrests. And I went, see? She goes, I'm gonna have to break you 2 up. And she points to the man and said, sir, you're going to have to find a seat at the back of the plane. I'm victorious. I stand up. I bash my head on the thing. I point at the man and I went, get to the back of the plane. Now, a lot of people on that plane hadn't seen the rest of the argument. All they have seen is me pointing at a black man, yelling, get to the back of the plane. Things got real awkward real fucking quick. I didn't know what I'd done yet. People were yelling at me, calling me a racist, and I was like, I know, but how do you know? Then a guy threw a bag of peanuts at the back of my head and said, sit down, you limey bastard. And I was like, that's the British. I'm Australian, you fucking racist. Which would have made a lot of sense if being British or Australian was a race and not a nationality. But at that stage, I was clutching at straws, really. So I go sit back down in his old chair. We got the empty seat between us. Me and the girl pounded out. Now, later on the flight, I'm walking up the back of the plane to the toilet. And I want to see the guy, because I want to go. And I get all the way to the back of the plane. I don't see him anywhere. I'm about to go in the toilet, and then I see his leg around the corner. There were no more seats. This is a full flight. He's sitting in the air stewardess's landing seat that folds down with a seatbelt over the top like he's in a fucking go-kart. I put my head around the corner. I went, no armrest here, dickhead. And the air stewardess went, you get back to your seat. And I ran away like a child, like. So, for landing, I go sit back down in his old seat. Now, the air stewardess seat is taken, so she's taking my old seat in the middle, and she fucking hates me. And I'm taking both armrests, fuck her. And as we're landing, the guy over the aisle leans over and goes, excuse me, "You're Jim Jefferies, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, how you doing?" And he went, "I had no idea you were gay." Fucking yeah, man. I like cock. I threatened any like fucking techno DJ guy who's watching this special to make some song out of "I hate faggots, I like cock." I hate faggots, I like cock. Oh, it's going to be popular in Europe. Now, this last story happened 5 years ago and involves a very famous movie star comedian. I won't say his name as he comes out of this story very poorly. 5 years ago, I was performing at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal. I was out there, before my career had taken off over here a bit. I was out there supporting a very famous comedian. I was just doing the 10-minute warm-up in a big theatre like this. And for me, it was a great stage in my career because I'd never been flown overseas to do a gig. I'd never met a movie star. I'd never performed in a theatre. It was exciting times, you know. I get to the stage door after the gig, and there's like 300 people waiting in the alleyway just to get this guy's photo or an autograph or something. And I'm standing off to the side like a bit of a douchebag, like. And then these two 18-year-old French-Canadian girls come up and start talking to me. Now, one of them's all hot and 18 and, whoa, right? And the other one's more... fat. So... I'm talking to the two girls. Eventually, the movie star stops doing photos, and he walks over, and the girls lose their fucking shit, right? We go out drinking. It gets to like 4 in the morning, and they yell last orders. Now, every man knows this moment in the night. You've been working on a girl for hours. You haven't closed the deal. They've turned the lights on. They've yelled last orders, and you're in that pressure cooker of time where you have to go, "Ah, you want to fuck?" Right? So... I'm going to let you in on a little secret, which a lot of comedians do, and I'll tell you what I did in this situation. I said to the girls, I said, "Hey, let's stay out drinking." And the girls go, "We can't. All the bars are shut." And I said, "Not the bar back at our hotel. The bar at our hotel is still open." Now, I should mention at this stage of the story that I knew full well that the bar at the hotel was not open. We get back to the hotel, the bar's shut, and I'm like this. "Oh, no! This is fucking bullshit. Thank fuck I have drinks up in my room." And then the girls come up to the room and the spider web of deceit is complete. Now, we're all up there drinking. After about 15 minutes, the other comedian becomes what I can only call rapey. He wanted the two girls to kiss each other, but he wasn't doing that drunken, "How about you two start kissing?" He was grabbing the back of each of their heads, going, "Do it! Kiss each other! Do it!" Now, I was sort of in awe of this guy, so I was kind of nervous. So I was like, don't do that. But there's a bit of my brain going, "But if you pull this off, I'm right there with you," right? The guy sort of checks himself very quickly, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, girls. I don't know what came over me." And we forgive him rather quickly. We continue on drinking. About 40 minutes later, we run out of Coca-Cola to mix with the Jack Daniels, so I go out to the vending machine to get more Coke. I come back in with all these cans of Coke under my arm. Now, obviously, since I've been away, the rapiness has surged back through his veins because he now has one of the girls pinned up against the wall and he's tearing at the top. The other girl's on his back trying to fight him off. Now, as exciting as it was to see my first rape, I really felt like I should intervene. But I was nervous, so I was kind of like George McFly from Back to the Future. "Hey, you. You get your damn hands off her. And he gave me the most evil look I've ever had from another person. He slammed that girl against the wall. He fought the other one off his back. And he looked at me and he goes, I'm going to make sure you never work with me again. And you girls can fuck off as well. I'm going to bed. Then he storms out of the room and he slams the door behind him. Now, the girls are about to cry, so I've got to keep things upbeat, right? You know when you're with a child and a child's fallen over and there's a small window of time where the child doesn't know it's hurt itself? And if you just go, "Wah!" the kid sort of goes, "Oh no, what's happened?" So he stormed out, the girls are about to cry, and I'm literally going, "Whoa! Oh, someone had too much to drink now, didn't they?" Oh, don't cry. I'm not gonna rape you. Look. Look. I'll lock the door, okay? He can't get back in, but you can't get out. No, I'm joking. There's no rape. So the girls calm down. I go over to a table in the room and I start cutting up a gram of coke. Now I turn around to offer the girls a line, but the look of horror that is on their faces. These are 18-year-old girls. They've never seen cocaine. I might as well turn around with a belt around my arm, holding a needle just. So as soon as I saw their faces, I tried to downplay the situation, so I went, I've never done it before. The bad man gave it to me. It's probably horror. I'm going to throw it away. So I gently scraped the coke back into the wrap. And for a man who'd allegedly never taken cocaine in his life, I fold the wrap up like an origami ninja. And then I looked at the girls and I went, well, I'm off to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom, my own hotel room, and I start doing cocaine off the toilet seat. I come back out a little bit more chipper. I lay down between the girls. Every 10 minutes, I'm getting up and doing cocaine. I'm coming back. I'm still drinking whiskey after whiskey. So I'm drunk, plus I'm coked up, but I'm trying to act like I'm not coked up. And so I'm trying to hide everything in front of the girls, and that's given me the appearance of cerebral palsy. Because I'm just laying between the girls going, and then the hot girl goes to the bathroom, and the big girl gets on top of me and starts making out with me. And I'm so wasted, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking all comers. I'm like, big fat person. It's like extra person, right? And then the hot girl comes out of the bathroom, and the big girl gets off me as though nothing had happened. She makes a hell of a sound. And then the big girl goes to the bathroom and the hot girl starts making out with me, or I start making out with her, or who can remember? So when the other girl comes back from the bathroom, I spring to the end of the bed and I went, look, here's the deal. We've all been making out. We should all get naked and fuck. And the big girl's already taken off her top like, yeah, let's do this. And the hot girl goes, I don't want to do that. So I pointed at the big girl and I went, your job is to convince her. I'm going to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. I do another fat line of Charlie. I peer out the bathroom door, the two girls are naked. I'm excited, but I've never had a threesome before, so I panic a little bit. So I jump back into the bathroom in front of the mirror, I'm like, ha-ha! This is fucking brilliant. 40 minutes ago, there was gonna be a rape in this room. I've really turned things around. And then my brain goes, you've just taken a gram of coke in 40 minutes, and I look down and my cock shriveled up like a walnut. And I'm like, oh no! And I start hitting it like it owes me money. I'm trying to reason with it. Come on, it's two 18-year-olds. This is what we've always talked about. I'm stretching it, trying to get blood flow back into it. But I've got nothing. I don't know about you, but when I take coke, I bloat out and I sweat like a beast. And I've got all fat and sweaty with this gnarly little fucking cock. My mouth's like cotton and I'm just looking at myself in the mirror like... This is you. So I just owned it. And I just walk out all fat and gross like... Hello, ladies. The big girl's going down the hot girl. The hot girl's head's at the end of the bed. So I put my flaccid cock into the hot girl's mouth, which sounds like an aggressive move. And it was. And she's sucking on this flaccid whiskey coke cock. And I've got no decorum. I'm just over her head going, ha 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 ha. And my guts resting over one of her eyeballs like she was a meat pirate. And I'm sweating profusely from my forehead into the other open eyeball. And after a minute and a half, she pulls my cock out of her mouth and goes, we're not doing this anymore. And you know what I thought at that moment? Good call. I really pushed that boat out as far into the harbour as maybe it should have gone, you know? I just wanted the girls to go home. I wasn't going to make them happy. All I wanted at this stage of the evening was to have me coke wank. Now, if you don't know what a coke wank is, let me explain. When you take about a gram of cocaine or so and you get home and you're laying in bed and your friends are gone and the sun's about to come up and the depression's about to set in, you masturbate for around 4 hours. Now, this sounds excessive, and it is, but don't think you're enjoying yourself for 4 hours. For 3 hours and 58 minutes, you're in fucking agony, because the cum's right at the end of your cock, but the nerve centre in your brain refuses to pass the message on to shoot it out, and that's what keeps you at the table like a bad gambler. Now, the most important thing with a coke wank is to keep your focus. You lose your focus, you're fucked. You've hit the reset button, you've got to start again. I'll tell you how I do it. I lay on the bed with my laptop really high up on my chest, with the battery burning into my ribcage. I put the most horrific porn I can find on the screen, which often is just women punching each other. I put my hand behind the screen so I don't have to see how violently I'm fucking myself. Then through cuts, abrasions and bruises and using tears as lube, eventually you will come, but you're so dehydrated it doesn't come out in a fluid state. You just shoot like these 6 gelatin chunks. Now, ordinarily, when you come on your chest, it's best to get a towel and mop it up, but this stuff just roll it in a ball and chuck it in the corner. Then after you come, you realise something you didn't know before. You're almost dead. Your heart's beating at a very irregular pace. Your mouth's like cotton, so you peel yourself off the mattress to get water. But your thighs are cramping up. You walk away, you turn around, you see a sweaty outline of your body on the sheet. And it looks like the Shroud of Turin. Anyway, I was looking forward to doing that. So I said to the girls, I said, you can go home. And the big girl went, but I still want to get fucked. And I went, you're more of a package deal. Now, as soon as I said it, I felt like a fucking asshole, right? One of the great things about being an offensive comic is you can cover your steps very quickly by going, I'm kidding, I'm crazy, rah. So I did that. I went, I'd love to fuck you. I'd love you. I was kidding. I'd love it. Ah! But I can't fuck you in front of your friend. And she points at her friend and goes, you get in the bathroom while I fuck him. And I went, yeah. I can't see why that wouldn't work. Now I've got to fuck. It would be rude not to. You can't be willing to fuck someone in a couple and not be willing to fuck them as an individual. That's bad manners, and my mother brought me up better than that. So I'm gonna fuck this girl to be polite. And her friend didn't want to go into the bathroom, and she's like crying, and her friend's like pushing her, like, just get in the fucking bathroom. This big fat girl just pushing this hot girl, like, get in the fucking bathroom. And I'm so wasted, I'm getting involved, like, yeah, get in the bathroom. And so we push this hot girl into the bathroom. She sits on the toilet, she's crying. She's so hot, and she's crying like, ah. Then she turns her hairdryer on so she doesn't have to listen. So picture like, there's this hot girl, she's crying, she's holding her hairdryer, just, ah, ah. Anyway, that gave me an erection. So now I've got an erection. Big question. Do I wear a condom? And the answer is no. I was on too many drugs to come. No one's getting fucking pregnant. And let's be honest, 18-year-old Canadian who'd never seen cocaine, let's go out on a limb and say she doesn't have AIDS. And even if she did have AIDS, it wouldn't be the aggressive AIDS. It would be a soft, gentle, girly AIDS. It probably wouldn't kill me. So I got on top of her. I told her I was a premature ejaculator, so I didn't have to fuck her for too long. Because I knew I wasn't going to come, right? So I put my cock in her for like 10 thrusts. I went, and I just pulled out and went, ah. And she went, what was that? And I went, I just came over there. And she goes, no, you didn't. I went, yes, I did. There's heaps of it over there. I wouldn't go over there, you'll get pregnant. It looks like a Jackson Pollock painting over there. Anyway, then we let a friend out of the bathroom. The girls got dressed and they went home. Now that should be the end of the story, but it's not. That story happened 5 years ago. Now this year, I went back to Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal, and I wasn't supporting some movie star. I was in the big theatre myself, and when I finished the show, I went to the stage door, and there was people waiting for my autograph, and at the end of the queue was the hot girl, all of these years later. And I took her back to my hotel, and I fucked her. Now, the reason I tell you this story is because you should never give up on your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye.